Well, what a unique privilege this is, and it truly is a special time right now to be a part of the Seminole family. There's no question about that. You see all the growth that is happening around Florida State athletics, all the work that is going in to the improvement within all of our programs. You see the facilities improvements and renovations and growth across the board, and obviously everything that is happening right out front behind us here inside of Doak Campbell Stadium. I will borrow Michael Alford's line, pardon our dust, everybody, as we have so many things going on right now. I can tell you, Coach Tisdale, that this is a great family to be a part of, and Michael will come up momentarily and discuss. And as someone that is somewhat new to the Florida State family as well, it truly is a special place to be, and we are honored to have you and your family here with us. There's no question about that. As we get our fall sports rolling, there are so many great programs, championship level programs here at Florida State University, and we cannot wait to see what Coach Tisdale does with our brand new program with Florida State Women's Lacrosse. As a quick aside, I can tell you after Michael made the announcement that women's lacrosse was going to be the next program here at FSU, I ran into a young woman lacrosse player 2 springs ago, in the spring of 2023, who showed up outside the Moore Center here outside of Doak Campbell Stadium with her grandfather, asking about who's the head coach going to be, where are we going to play at, where do I sign up? I'm ready to go. So the excitement, the ripple effect from that announcement is absolutely palpable right now. With that, let's continue on with our program, and I tell you what, with all these great things going on, it's because of the leadership and the vision of our next speaker who will join us now on this main stage. Please give it up for our Vice President and Director of Athletics, Michael Alford, everybody.
Could be my best hire of all time. Mr. Cohen. As I mentioned in yesterday's press release, this is truly an exciting time for Florida State athletics as we advance by adding women's lacrosse and welcoming Coach Sara Tisdale, her wife Becca, and Emma, their daughter, into the Seminole family. I am going to hold it against Emma for not being here, as she's a student at the University of Michigan and had some prior commitments. Coach Graff, as you know, we have a long history of pioneering women's athletics, dating back to the early 1900s as Florida State College for Women. And everyone is aware of where we have taken that step a long time ago and how we have advanced women's athletics here at Florida State and have brought it to an elite level. You can say here, Florida State, we care about women's athletics very deeply. As many of y'all know, we finished 12th this last season in the Directors' Cup, which speaks to our comprehensive excellence that we aspire to amongst all of our programs. But with that, we also had 5 conference championships, 6 coaches of the year, 2 of them being national coaches of the year, and 7 player of the year within the conference. It was truly a remarkable year last year, and 18 of 20 teams made the postseason, so no pressure. With all that success on the field, something I'm more proud of is our success in the classroom and the emphasis our coaching staff and Miguel Negron and his staff do to put academics first and always making sure that we aspire to keep the university's mission of being an academic institution as our top priority. Just last year, our student athletes also had a 3.2 cum GPA, and we had 184 all ACC academic team selections. We provide resources for our student athletes to graduate from a top 20 public institution in America with a diploma in that left hand and championship rings on the right. All this could not be accomplished without your support, the Seminole boosters, and the support you give also to the Battles Inn. It allows us to provide these resources for our student athletes to compete at an elite level. As we say here at Florida State, you've heard me say it many times, there is a standard is the standard at Florida State University, and we aspire to be greatness across all boards. Building a program from scratch takes a little different skill, and one couldn't find a better coach, a more proven coach than Sara Tisdale when you're starting a program. We will begin play in the spring of 26, which is not that far away. We were just talking about the stadium being completed in 1 year from now. And starting in the spring of 26, we will have our first lacrosse program. We were drawn to Coach Tisdale, not only due to her success on the field, where she had 114-86 record over the 12 years, but also her understanding of the academic mission and the student-athlete experience. Sara has won 4 conference titles. She's had 34 all-conference selections, 3 Offensive Player of the Year, a Defensive Player of the Year, and 3 Freshman of the Year during her tenure in 12 years. And as I mentioned, the importance we place on academics and citizenship here in Florida State, Coach Tisdale teams have been honored 9 consecutive times with Honor Squad recognition from the Intercollegiate Women's Lacrosse Association, and she has produced 118 academic all-conference selections. And when we talk about standards, Coach, I don't want to scare you off. Cindy, she signed her contract, right? We're good? But the last 2 women's sports we have added, beach volleyball, and I think Coach Niles is here, we have competed for 3 national championships, and women's soccer, who has won 4, and just bringing 1 home last year with Coach Pinsky, so no pressure on the addition of what we expect and the standard here at Florida State. Y'all know when I set out to hire a coach, there are some qualities that I'm looking for. Fit, culture, making sure that they fit the Seminole family and that they will come in and understand the values that are here. My goal is always to provide our student athletes with the very best resources. And when it comes to providing resources, the main thing that's most important to me is surrounding them with people of high character, where Sara Tisdale fits that mold. So please join me in welcoming our very first Florida State women's lacrosse coach, Coach Sara Tisdale.
No pressure, I get it, yeah. What a great afternoon, and thank you so much for welcoming me here today. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, kind words. And it's an incredible honor to stand before you as the first ever Florida State women's lacrosse head coach. And I don't know about you, but I get goosebumps when I say that, and I imagine I will for some time now. I'd like to thank both Michael and Dr. McCullough for this incredible opportunity and entrusting me to build Florida State women's lacrosse. For me, the game of lacrosse has brought me my very best friends, my mentors, and people that I absolutely admire the most. And so, if you'll bear with me, I would not be on this stage without mentioning these very important names of people that have mentored me to get to this point and be ready for this opportunity. I started my career at Augustana College, where I learned what it meant to build a program centered around holistic student-athlete development. I was mentored by Athletic Director Mike Zapolsky, Dave Rath, Dr. Evelyn Campbell, and Dr. Bob Talich, and so many more. And I'm so proud of what we accomplished there in 3 short seasons, winning 2 conference titles and making 2 appearances in the NCAA tournament. In just those years, we managed to build a program that brought student athletes and families from across the country to a little town called Rock Island, Illinois, and truly make our mark in the lacrosse world. As I moved on to Central Michigan University to build my 2nd program, I was beyond fortunate to be mentored by Marcy Weston, Sue Guevara, Rachel Blunt, Dr. Jonathan Glenn, and Margot Yonker. Names I've already mentioned and talked about here today in the room because, as you know, the athletics world is very, very small. Those individuals, along with very special assistant coaches and student athletes, helped me cement my vision and values for building a culture centered around wearing the jersey 24/7. How you do anything is how you do everything. Being able to put 2 championship rings on the hands of the young women and staff during my time at CMU, along with countless academic and service awards, is a true testament to the culture that was built there and still exists today. CMU is also where my path crossed for the first time with Michael and Laura Alford. Almost instantly, Michael and Laura knew the name of every single student athlete and staff member at Central Michigan University. Michael and I connected, as he mentioned, because of our unwavering commitment to culture. We're not afraid to outwork others, and we see a standard, and we're not afraid to blow right through it. When Michael left CMU, I knew our paths would cross again, and I'm thrilled that day is today. While at Eastern Michigan University, and yes, if you're counting my third program that I've built from the ground up, I was given the opportunity for personal and professional growth. At EMU, I not only served as our lacrosse coach, but also had the opportunity to be a leader on campus and in the community. I regularly met and collaborated with Chief Diversity Officer Dwight Hamilton and Associate Provost and Vice President Dr. Doris Fields. And this only strengthened my values and vision for what student athletes should be involved in the community and the type of person they should be on our campuses. EMU Athletic Director Scott Weatherby had a unique vision for how I could continue to coach and grow as a person and as a professional. And I'm forever grateful for his leadership, mentorship, and friendship. In 2024, just EMU's second season, we were very close to putting championship rings on the hands of those student athletes and staff, and I know that program will be successful for years to come because of the people and commitment to excellence that we established. I cannot thank Scott Weatherby, Aaron Keto, Stacy McMullen, and President Smith at EMU for everything they gave me at a time that I needed it absolutely the most, and supporting me in pursuing this opportunity at Florida State. So when I told the EMU players, as you might imagine, a very sad day to walk away from a family that I had built, but an opportunity that I knew that I was ready for and excited for, I received countless texts and calls. One that stood out to me the most I'd like to share with you today. This is something I share with recruits, and I will continue to do so here at Florida State. Coaches and student athletes that are in this room know that the women that you compete for championships with are also the women you're going to call first when you land your dream job, when you get engaged, when you welcome a baby into the world, and when you accomplish a goal that you've been working towards for years. They'll be the ones standing by your side, and when you fall, they'll pick you up, they'll challenge you to be the best version of yourself, and so surround yourself with the right people. We'll look to do that here in Tallahassee, and remind the young women that will wear the garnet and gold that this is bigger than a championship, a game, or a season. So as you're figuring out with all the names I just mentioned to you, I coach because of the people, not the championships. The championships, the wins, those are all byproducts of surrounding yourself with the right people. I know that here at Florida State and Seminole Nation, we already have a rich tradition of excellence. I'm not intimidated by this. I'm excited to work towards it with every single one of you in this room and thrive towards winning those championships and putting Florida State on the national stage for women's lacrosse. Adding women's lacrosse to a storied lineup of women's athletics at Florida State is something I was immediately drawn to. The success of women's soccer, volleyball, beach volleyball, and softball, just to name a few, and the incredible support of women's athletics at Florida State is very, very special. I love to learn from other coaches, both on and off the field, and I look forward to working alongside the nation's absolute best. Joining Florida State's rich tradition of success is not lost on me. As Michael mentioned, last year's 6 Conference Coaches of the Year, the 26 Seminoles currently competing in the Olympics, a 12th place finish in the Directors' Cup, 5 conference championships, 2 undefeated seasons, soccer's national championships, and the 18 teams that competed in the postseason is something most athletic departments expect to accomplish over a series of years. And it all happened here in 12 months. What is most striking, as Michael said, is 23-24 was not a unique year for Florida State. It is the standard. This is the brand. Championship rings on one hand, diplomas in the other. And being able to build a lacrosse program centered around and connected to this legacy is a huge honor. So as I've talked to colleagues and friends about Florida State, one thing that is consistent and obvious, Seminole alumni and supporters are passionate. The love for this institution is absolutely palpable. There will be some time before we have our own Seminole lacrosse alumni. I look forward to drawing on the rich traditions of success and excellence that are carried forward by all Seminoles alumni and many of the supporters in this room and across the country. So let's talk a little bit about timelines, goals, and logistics. We look to start adding to our staff immediately. and recruit coaches that share our values of excellence. I look forward to welcoming potential student athletes and their families to this campus in the coming weeks, and we will sign our first class in November. I don't think I can even describe to you how excited people are across the country to have lacrosse at Florida State. In my very early and initial conversations, yes, if you're counting in the last 24 hours, people are beyond thrilled, and they have set Seminole Lacrosse as their #1 choice in their recruitment process. So when I started my coaching career, I did not expect to be a builder of lacrosse programs. And I'm sure there's some sort of connection in there to the Field of Dream movie. If you build it, they will come. But what I do know about myself is that my strengths and my leadership style is built on unwavering values, a commitment to excellence in the classroom and on the field, and bringing together young women and their families that will be proud not to only be a part of the future success of Florida State, but also represent with incredible pride and honor Seminole Nation and its people. So now the question that I'm sure many of you are asked, how do we build this program? I correlate building a program with building a house. Without a solidly constructed foundation, the walls won't stand, the roof will fall, and you'll never have an opportunity to put those elaborate finishes that we all love inside. So recruiting young women of great integrity is the absolute standard and the foundation. Their lacrosse skill, IQ, and unique talent is a non-negotiable, but who they are as people will set them apart in the recruitment process. Once the foundation is set, and only then can we begin to build the program and put up the walls, if you will. So if you think about driving by a house being built, as I'm sure many of you have in this room, not everyone understands what makes a foundation great. Nobody really gets excited about foundations of houses. The framed out walls will soon hold something very, very special and unique. Most people want a house that's already built, so they can go in and do the fun part, the decorating. For me, I want to get my hands dirty, I want to dig down in the dirt, and I want to know that with unwavering certainty that the foundation can support every single step along the way. So when each of you sit in this future Seminole Lacrosse Stadium stands, I promise you, you'll be hooked. If lacrosse is new to you, you'll see elements of sports you're likely familiar with, like basketball, soccer, and hockey. The sport of lacrosse packs all those elements into a high-scoring, competitive, and gritty environment. Every young woman that wears the garnet and gold will compete with respect, and you'll see us have a heck of a lot of fun, both on the sideline and on the field. Florida State lacrosse will be different. We'll not chase anyone, and we only measure us against ourselves. If the goal, drill, or skill calls for 10 repetitions, you can expect us to have a one more mentality, and our student athletes will do 11. This will be a player-led and player-run program, and will recruit student athletes that want to make an impact right away and are not afraid to be leaders from day one. I'd like to close by thanking my family, who I consider to be my teammates. First and foremost, my wife Becca and daughter Emma. As many of you in this room are aware, being a coach's spouse and family often means planning your family vacations around season, dinner time around practice schedules, and weekends around games and travel. Becca and Emma have not only been there to support me from the very beginning and cheering me on, but they've also welcomed every single student athlete into our home, treated them like family, and welcomed them with a warm hug. To my parents, numerous aunts, uncles, and cousins, and close friends, thank you so much for the support and role you played in helping me become a competitive, daring, and confident leader. So as we work toward season 1, game 1, and that first draw in February 2026, my family and I cannot wait to adorn the garnet and gold. I cannot wait to welcome home our first class of Seminole lacrosse student athletes. We are excited for the first football game and watching what we've only seen play out on our TVs right in front of us. I can only imagine the passion and connection one feels when you see Osceola and Renegade run onto the field and plant the spear at Hatfield. We're excited to cheer Seminole soccer on as they look to repeat as national champions. We are excited to be a part of the Tallahassee community. Thank you so much for the warm welcome that I've received today, and we look forward to working alongside each and every single one of you as we build this into a championship program. We are thrilled to be here, and go Noles.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of a brand new era. Our first ever head women's lacrosse coach. Please, a big round of applause for Sara Tisdale once again. Coach, we can't wait to see your program in February of 2026. We cannot wait to see you and your family and your program build here over the next 12 to 18 months or so. For everyone that is here with us inside the Dunlap Champions Center and Club, Coach will be available to meet and greet and spend some time with, and after that, she will also speak with the media here as well. Thanks so much for coming on out and joining us here this afternoon. Again, the beginning of a brand new era of Florida State women's lacrosse. Thank you for watching live on Seminoles Unconquered. Have a great day, everybody, and go Noles!